Welcome to Season 5 of The Breakdown, the official podcast of the Breakaway Roping Journal and calfroping.com. This season, we're diving into both the breakaway and calf roping like never before, bringing you the personalities, successes, and horses that make these events great.
You can expect training tips from the top ropers, stories from the road, and industry news that goes beyond the numbers.
I'm Hannah Wheeler, your calf roping host.
And I'm Blake Ramsey, your breakaway host.
And this is The Breakdown.
Hey everyone, this is Blake Ramsey, your brand new Breakaway Breakdown host, and on this episode I caught up with Cheyanne McCartney after her big win at the Old West Futurity in Heber City back in June. Full transparency, I called her right after the event, and then I've been on the road and maybe a little bit timid to do my very first solo podcast, but it is still good nonetheless. So let's dive in. This episode we talked about how many horses she had at the Futurity, how she balances riding all of these different horses and what her approach is. We talked about how she balances rodeoing full-time and going to the Futurities. We talked about how her and her husband Cody split the workload so that they're successful across the board. And we also just talked about what kind of opportunities the Old West Futurity is providing, not only for rope horse trainers, but for breakaway ropers and everybody in the industry to be able to progress the rope horse standard even more and the kind of money that they're providing. Hope y'all enjoy. Old West is redefining what's possible in the rope horse industry. From world-class heading, heeling, and breakaway futurities to elite rope horse sales, Old West showcases exceptional horses, elite competition, and the future of the rope horse industry. With industry-leading payouts, exclusive sale graduate incentives, and a $1 million bonus opportunity, Old West is where legends are made and records are broken. Learn more at oldwest.com.
Well, Cheyanne, you had another standout Futurity week. I mean, you just are taking the Futurity world and making it yours.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was definitely a lot of fun the last 2 days, and I just really enjoyed it and enjoyed riding the horses. They had a good trip to Utah.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me, you had 3 of them here. You had Reyzin Royals, Thiccthirty, and Don't Quote Me. Oh, and you had the one that you won the Futurity on.
Yes, ma'am. Cody brought out two 4-year-olds and then the 6-year-old, and then I got to hop on Reyzin Royals as well when I got out here.
Yes, ma'am. And they all worked really well. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to ride that many different horses.
I guess it's, it can be challenging. I guess just I've been to enough of these deals where you just focus on making one run at a time, and I kind of know the horses that I rode and have a little routine with them, and it makes it a lot easier when you do kind of know the horses and what their tendencies are.
Yes, ma'am. They kept changing the score every single round. Does that affect anything in how you're roping or how you approach it?
It doesn't really change anything. It just, some horses have more strong suits and some have certain weaknesses, and you just kind of have to know your horse and what you need to do on them. In the 6 and under, the calves were fresh, and so you had to see quite a bit, probably more than half of the calf out on some of them. Some of them were kind of walking, and some of them were going on a little bit more, and then the next round they kind of got to running a little more, and so they shortened the barrier, and you just have to focus on adjusting as a roper on what you're supposed to do and giving the horses good cues on when to leave. And I think in the 6 and under class it really showed the horses that know how to find the calf and have rate and can also run, because some of those calves, like in the second round, weren't starting very good and were trying to get away from you. So I definitely think that it showed the horses that know their job and pay attention to the calf.
Yes, ma'am. I would agree. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to go from Futurity to rodeo. I mean, you're doing both and kicking butt. You're in the top 15. You take their money at the Futurity. How do you balance the doing both and showing up at the Futurities when not many girls are?
It definitely takes dedication and sacrifice. I had to choose between entering Nampa, because the Nampa short round was the same as the Futurity short round, or the Futurity, and I chose the Futurity. I'm also pretty spoiled. My husband does a great job with these horses, and and brought them out here, and I only had to miss Nampa, but it's just something I've always loved doing. I love to rope, and the horses are my favorite part of it, and so I love rodeo and competing at the rodeos, but the futurities are really hard to miss. It can be hard to miss rodeos or miss things whenever there's the futurities going on, but I love roping at them and competing at them, so I try to be at every single one.
Yes, ma'am. What is the balance with you and Cody? What does he do while you're on the road to help? How do you guys, what is your balance?
Oh, I mean, he's predominantly in charge of training. When I'm at home, I do more with the young horses as far as riding them, but when I'm gone rodeoing, he's the one that's riding them and getting them ready for these deals. So, I rope at him, but he gets most of the credit.
So your guys' styles must match pretty well if he does the training and you get on him and go rope on him at these breakaway roping futurities.
Well, when I'm at home, I'll rope. We rope all day, every day, and I'll rope on some of them. And then I kind of have a string of horses as well that I'm seasoning and taking places when I'm at home, going to stuff that's close to the house. But we just do a lot of roping all day long and go as many places as we can.
Yes, ma'am.
Old West isn't just raising the bar, we're redefining what's possible in the rope horse industry. With more than $1.12 million paid out in Guthrie and over $1.37 million paid out in Heber City, Old West has quickly become one of the premier destinations for heading, keeling, and breakaway competition. Built on a bold vision to create world-class rope horse futurities and elite horse sales, Old West brings together exceptional horses, top competitors, breeders, owners, and buyers from across the country. With record-setting horse sales, industry-leading payouts, exclusive sale graduate incentives, and $1 million bonus opportunity, Old West is where legends are made and records are broken. Learn more about our futurities and horse sales at oldwest.com.
The futurities, like in the Old West, they're really putting a lot of money at it. Tell me what it's like to be able to come and compete for this and win it, and what they're doing for the industry as a whole.
I think it's incredible. When I competed at my first gold buckle futurity, it was so much fun. There's nothing like coming to these deals and having success on a young horse that you've trained or had a part of training and seen it go from a 3-year-old to a 4-year-old and get to where it knows its job and comes to these deals and competes against other tough horses and tough ropers and comes out with a win, or just has some success. And then it also is really neat when it's a client or owner that you're close with, and it's just exciting for everybody.
Yes, ma'am. How do you build your relationships with the clients that you ride these futurity horses with?
We have a handful of really great clients, and some that are newer, some that have been with us, and like the Muffin, the Don't Quote Me Muffin horse, that's some really great friends of ours. And Cody and the Moores were actually partners on Muffin's mother. Her name was Poppy, and a lot of NFR guys rode her. She was rode at the NFR. And so it's just really neat to see it come full circle. Cody still was roping on her when we started dating, and I got to rope on her a little bit. So just to see her offspring come through our place and start to make a nice rope horse and have a lot of success, that's just really special,
Yes, ma'am. Well, you ride the 3 top earning futurity breakaway horses this year. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about, your week and the futurities and rodeo and all of that?
Probably the coolest part of the week for me, the 5-year-old, Hez Talkin Smack, that's owned by Shane Hanchy.
Yes.
Cody walked up, replaced at Pleasant Grove, and was 7'9", and is currently splitting the rodeo with Riley Webb. There's another perk tonight, but it just was a really fun week. I got to hang out with my husband and have some success at the show, and just anytime you have a week like that where it just really goes your way, you try to soak it in, because anybody that ropes or competes knows that that's not always how it goes. So just try to enjoy it.
Yes, ma'am. Calfroping.com tagged us and the post of Cody splitting that rodeo. So that was pretty exciting to see him come do so good here and then go do so good at the rodeo under the lights with the crowd. You guys, that speaks a lot to y'all's program.
It was a lot of fun. The announcer was talking when Cody was in the box. Cody won that rodeo in 2013, and Cody he'll rope at some rodeos. He doesn't rodeo full time anymore, but it was super fun for him to get to rope there. It was fun for me to get to watch, and he's always cheering me on, so to get to be there videoing him, cheering him on is a lot of fun for me as well.
Obviously, since then, Cheyanne has just gone on and does what she does. She had a really good Cowboy Christmas, went ahead and took the win in Calgary, and is in the projected #1 spot in the world right now. This was a little bit of a shorter podcast, but I appreciate y'all hanging out. It can only get better. Thanks for tuning in to the Breakaway Breakdown.